Welcome to the CryptoWise channel. My name is Dave. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, larger time frame and shorter time frame update. Still expecting a big dump in August. I'm going to show you why I believe that is and some facts and data in the charts that has been 100% accurate. The last 3 times we were in this phase of the market in August, we saw a big dump, and I'm going to show you why that is. If you're new to the channel, we talk about macro technical analysis, facts in the charts, staying cool, calm, and focused. Let's dive into it. So here we are in the 2-weekly time frame. What I've done is I've highlighted in this blue vertical line the peak around end of July, August, just before we see a big dump. Now, these are the pivot points in a bear market. Every time we are already in a bear market, in a bear market, in a bear market. The last 3 times we've been in this phase, in the previous 3 bear markets, we saw a big substantial dump in August every single time. So let's zoom in here a little bit and see what that looks like on the daily time frame. So I'm going to zoom out to the bear market of 2022, and we can see that right around here, we actually peaked mid-August, and we had, so around August 15th, we peaked and we dumped into September, the first week of September, and had a 26% dump. So we actually peaked mid-August and dumped into the first week of September. I mean, we did have a pretty substantial red August, around 22% down, but the dump was around 27% in total. The previous cycle before that, which was the bear market of 2018, we actually had a peak in July, end of July, and we dumped into August, right? So a little bit different here, but we still had a peak around end of July-ish, yeah. So right around when August started, we just had a huge dump of 27% down, which later led to further corrections. And the one that I just looked at also led to further corrections down as well. So in the previous cycle before the 2018 cycle, in that same phase of the bear market, right, we had a peak. Well, we had multiple peaks here, but we were working on lower high peaks, and then eventually a break of structure. So the last peak was actually right around the 1st of August, and we dumped into August again, right? Which led to a 26% dump, which actually back then led to multiple dumps further down. I don't think we're going to see this so much where we're at currently, but either way, we see a dump either starting mid-August into end of August or the beginning of August into mid-August. So the last 3 times we've had a dump that either started in mid-August or the beginning of August that led to a plus 20% decline. Actually 26, what did we have? 26, 27, and over here was 27. So an average of over 25% down, right? With a drop starting anywhere between the 1st of August or the mid-August, okay? And currently where we're at now, we are, the date is the 30th of July, right? So now if I look at this picture here, I don't think we're going to dump just yet. And here's why. We're in a full moon energy right now, and this does happen quite often. Okay, I'm going to give you the full moon synopsis here. Just like we had this consolidation in this bear flag that I talked about when we broke our RSI here that we were going to dump, which played out perfectly. We can see that we've had full moon pivot points once, higher, twice, higher, and then pivoting days before the new moon, We actually peaked on the 6th of May here, or the 10th of May. And 5 days later at the new moon, we actually had a lower high, and that's when the dump started, and we dumped into the full moon. So this very well could be playing out here, where we see one last push higher into the first week of August, and then we have a huge sell-off going into end of August. Maybe not that far, but at the very least 49K would make a lot of sense. Getting into these support levels and this support level here, potentially at the bottom of it actually. So yeah, 49K and 48K. So we could be tapping this level here. So in fact, this box should be moved down. I would say it's more like this would be the target. No, let me just back this up here. And then let me get rid of the full moons, the moon cycle rather. Let's get this lower to the 52K area, and then over here at the 47K area. So this is the area I believe that we're going to be bottoming in here on this next move down. So moon phases is one of the things that I'm looking at that's in confluence of higher from here, another small push higher. And the other factor is the RSI on the daily. So if I look at the RSI, relative strength index, this is all corrective price action, by the way, which is bearish, right? We have these volume impulses to the downside with high volume, slow, choppy, ugly price action with low volume, and then moves down just like we had here. Sorry, this box is in the way. Just like we had here. Slow, choppy, ugly, and then impulses down with high volume. Slow, choppy, ugly price action, and then impulse down with volume because the trend is down, right? When the trend is up, we'll see the reverse. We'll see impulses to the upside with high volume green, right? Candles. In this case, it's red because it's down. So pretty simple. And this consolidation here is no exception. It looks the same, very, very similar. So the RSI is telling us that when this consolidation happened in this 3-month consolidation from February to May, we had 3 touch points, 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, the third one was around full moon, right? Keep a note of that, okay? And now with this consolidation, since we had that first move down in May, the big move down in May, we actually have, look at that, 1 touch point, 2 touch point, and 3 touch point. And the third touch point is, guess what? Right around a full moon, just like we had here back in end of April. So it's very possible we get one more push up, just like we did here, one more push up. Maybe at the highest I think we could go is touching this downtrend here, this big weekly downtrend. I highly doubt we're going to break through that. It's very uncommon to see, especially around now. So if I line this up correctly, as correct as possible, if we went straight up from here, it would be 70K, the target of this trend line. I mean, by the time we get there, it's going to be later. So the trend is downtrending. So like it could be 69K that we could reach here. I mean, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 68,500. Okay. So here's a couple confluence factors why I believe that we would see a small move up here, nothing crazy, but one last move up into the, let's get rid of these lines here. One last move up into early August. We could be topping around the 10th of August, and see this big move down into the end of August, early September. Okay, so Yeah, and that would give us a 50% retracement from swing low to high. Right, 69. That would be make a lot of sense. Bitcoin loves to do the 50% retracement before a move down. We have a wave 1, a wave 2, and a wave 3, right? And this move down, as you've seen that I showed you, they can be very aggressive and very fast, and they often start either first or around the 1st of August or around mid-August, which in this case, it seems to be lining up more that we have a move down starting mid-August. Also, if I show you on the 4-hour time frame, we actually have what's called a falling wedge pattern, like this. And a falling wedge pattern has a technical target of the prior high. So if I show you here, I don't have a page, I'll just draw it in here. Falling wedge pattern. Yeah. So if I look at images here, we can see just like this, right? Falling wedge, breakout. Sometimes it's ugly choppy like this, or like that. Right. It can be continuation patterns or they can be reversal patterns. They're not the most reliable patterns, but it does seem to be playing out right now. Bitcoin has broken out. And not only that, but we see a small W pattern here. So short term, it's very possible, right? W pattern is a reversal, right? Right, like this, W reversal patterns, they happen all the time. Price will consolidate a little bit above the neckline and then up it goes, right? We're kind of seeing that right now play out. So it's looking very likely that we see this move up into, at the very least, back to 66,700, which I believe that it's likely that we push up into higher prices from there. So there you have it. A little update timing wise. In the last video, I talked about a crash warning happening in August. That is still my expectation. It's just now it's not happening necessarily right away. We could be dumping into late August and continuing this move down. Our confirmation would be a daily close below this RSI uptrend, just like when we had over here our daily close below this RSI uptrend after we had 1, 2, 3 touch points, right? 1, 2, 3 touch points. The fourth time that it came back to touch that point, it broke the trend line, which was right at this third daily candle from this peak. We had one candle green and it's been down since then, right? As a back test. So when that happens, that will be our confirmation that the momentum shift has now been negative after this whole consolidation. And that is likely going to lead to a massive sell-off in the price. I think there was something else I wanted to mention about the previous video. Oh, the monthly candles. So let's just look at that real quick here as well too. So I did talk about the monthly candles. If we see a monthly close, right? In the previous video, I talked about this. This is really, really important stuff here. Because if this candle on the monthly closes above this line, closes above 66,750, then the probabilities of much more upside has increased dramatically. And this monthly candle is going to close in 1 day, 4 hours. So by today is July 30th. So by July 31st, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll see this candle close. And if it closes above this line, then that would be a bullish sign. If it closes below, which is my expectation, then what could happen is the next candle opens, let's say here, and then we could see that move up. Is this the right spot? Yeah, we could see that move up into 69 and then come straight down, right? Kind of like this candle here a little bit. So the candle would never close. We would just see a few days or a week of up in the month and then a close much lower below. That is the expectation right now based on previous history and short-term analysis. I am expecting a red month in August and it to close below this low, below the June low of 58,670. It is very likely that is going to happen, and that is the expectation. So yeah, there you have it. And yeah, if you guys find this helpful, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate the comments. Let me know in the description below any coins you want analysis on, macro analysis on, and I'd be happy to potentially make a video. All right, cheers, peace.